Getting ready to wrap up week 3 of the PLL from Philadelphia. We're on the campus of Villanova University, and both Maryland and Philadelphia trying for their first win of the season. It's homecoming weekend for the Waterdogs, which means they play twice in as many days. Anish, Shroff, Quint, Kessenich, Ryan, Boyle. Dana Boyle is down on the sideline. Happy Father's Day to one and all. And you got a Waterdogs team, Ryan, where this is the second game in as many days. This turnaround's not easy. You're trying to get their first win 3 weeks into the season. What do we make of the back-to-back?
I think early returns, kind of 1-1 in terms of that second game. Overall, 3-1. So, we'll see how this plays out. I think the bigger thing for Waterdogs is no face-off guy. We saw how that played out against Cannons and Tucci. How does that get Joe Nardella today with Whipsnakes? He is unquestionably a better offensive midfielder than Tucci. So how does that play out?
Waterdogs lost yesterday, but that two-man combo, Sowers and McCardle, almost led them to a win.
Especially in the second half. When you think about the combination, Kieran McCardle, the finisher, had a wicked second half. And Michael Sowers is the Allen Iverson of this offense, the ability to cut and beat his man, draw double teams, and feed to the crease of the weak side. These guys are a proven commodity. And to me, the Waterdogs' improvement or garnering a win today, well, I think they're going to get it done, these two. My question mark comes down to Waterdogs midfield, Waterdogs transition, Waterdogs two-point shots.
Starting lineups for the Waterdogs, powered by Ticketmaster.
0-2. Marcus Hudgens made his debut yesterday. Mixed results. Ben Randall, to me, proves his versatility. He can cover big guys. He can cover little gnat-like guys. He's been impressive. Philadelphia midfield. Need to see Connor Kelly get it humming from two-point range. And the big change is Zach Curio now will be running a normal offensive shift. There's the attack. Sowers from behind, McCardle inside, Ethan Walker on the left wing.
Meanwhile, the Whipsnakes searching for some answers with this 0-2 start, but one answer they have found. Rookie TJ Malone looks like a keeper.
Yeah, he's been the bright spot offensively, him and Shannon Chuck. Besides that, what are you getting? Because when you're getting 11 points per game so far, there hasn't just been a lot of production. Malone has come in. You see right there, 5 goals, 3 assists. The first game, not a lot of action for him. He was more integral in their second game. Meanwhile, Mike Shannonchuk continues his incredible storied career, the smoothest stroke in the game. He's got 2 two-pointers. They've got 3 as a unit. Defensively, they need to be better. They have been giving up 15 per game. That's 7th in the league. Zapatello is the rookie insert into that all-Terp lineup. In the midfield, you've got no Brad Smith. You got no Tucker Dordovic. Zed Williams moves from attack to midfield. Does that give that unit some juice? Meanwhile, Morrill bumps down to attack. Matt Rambo, 5 points so far, shooting just north of 20% on the season. Need to get more out of this group.
Whipsnake starting lineups are powered by Ticketmaster, and Matt Rambo knows a thing or two about Philadelphia. He's with Dana Boyle.
Matt, there's a noticeable glaring difference on the offensive end. How do you get some juice in this game facing the Waterdogs?
We're just going to try and play fast and try and out-hustle them. That's kind of the name of the game in the PLL. Whoever's playing harder is going to get the W.
Joe Nardella going from about 61% from the stripe. What does he give this offense?
I mean, he gives us the ball more. He can push in transition. He's great at passing and throwing. So, yeah, we're excited to have him back.
You want to wish a special someone a Father's Day?
Always. My dad's in the stands. I'm from around here, so I want to wish, my dad the best Father's Day ever, and also all the dads around the Lacrosse world. So happy Father's Day to everyone.
Good stuff.
Thanks.
Happy Father's Day. We'll see Matt Rambo at a Wawa in the area at some point this weekend, if we haven't already.
Maybe we'll ask him what his order is under the helmet today.
The face-offs are going to be fascinating because the Waterdogs did not dress a face-off guy for this weekend. They haven't done it this season in their previous 2 games. They can't dress one today. Big advantage for the Whipsnakes. And yesterday, Quint, Philly lost because they lost the face-off battle.
Yeah, Zach Tucci ended up with 4 points in that game, including the game winner, a 2-pointer from distance, and a shorthanded goal. Now, the deal today for the Waterdogs, they'll dress the face-off 3 different short-stick defensive midfielders. Zach Curio will not take any draws. He'll run a normal offensive shift. It's basically going to be designated face-off loser.
DFL.
Send him out.
And for a Whipsnakes offense that's looking to get in a rhythm, these extra possessions are going to help that. You got some new bodies.
Zed Williams, shot save Dylan Ward.
New bodies in Chorus and Winkoff. And then familiar faces in new places. Williams at midfield, Morrill at attack.
Yeah, Williams at midfield is one thing, but now he's caught on defense.
There's Michael Sowers. Waterdogs using the sub game, a little too sloppy. They turn it over. Goes back to Philly and Colin Squires. Shot on the run. Connor Kelly, no, the rebound is there.
Rambo said they wanted to run. Kind of believe it when you see it, but there it was. Squires pushed in transition.
You know, I went down to the field and talked to Jimmy Stagnita, and he echoed what Rambo, like Rambo's brainwashed by the head coach, obviously. And the head coach says, again, at its basic, lacrosse comes down to effort. And he was just asking his guys for more effort, to run harder, to compete more on ground balls, to do their jobs, yada, yada, yada. Okay, I get that. The fact is, and Coach admitted it, that this Whipsnakes roster, Anish, is in the middle of a transformation. They were the perennial best team in the league for a bunch of years. They fell to medium status. Now they're at the basement. They're an older roster that needs to be regenerated.
Yeah, Tucker Dordovic, who was the Rookie of the Year last year, is out. And a very surprising move. Their leading scorer from last year, Will Manny, was let go right at the end of training camp. And now you've got a team that's struggling to score. Skip pass, offline, wanted Jack Chorus, rookie free agent from Maryland, making his pro debut, 15 and white.
And you look at some of their drafts, some of those late Redwoods picks have kind of hit, and you look at the Whips in terms of their late picks, and they just haven't given nearly the same amount of juice.
And players aren't stupid, Ryan, you know. Like if you're Matt Rambo, you know that if you don't start producing, eventually you could be looking at the end of your career. It's a simple business here.
Here's Kieran McCardle coming off a 6-point game yesterday. Matched up with Matt Dunn. McCardle's shot hits the helmet of Bernhardt, 83.
That's the type of effort play that Rambo and Stagnita were talking about.
Cutters, we're good, we're good. Get through.
Now Malone, the rookie out of Penn State. 7 and white, off to a great start. 3rd round pick, 6 points in his debut. Trail check. Nice job by Witcher. Shannon Chuck still able to hold on.
The other players, you got to communicate. Behind.
Malone again gives it up.
Hudgens draws that Malone matchup. Pair of rookies and a stacked rookie class this season.
There's Colin Heacock. Offline, that was tipped. Rambo will have the backup. And they say Ward got a piece, so shot clock resets to 32. More time for Rambo to operate. Using the pick, Malone, Chanenchuk, a threat from 2. Loose ball out of the wilderness into the frontier in the hands of the Waterdogs.
That's Matt Brandel down at attack.
Here's a chance. That one no good by Ethan Walker. And Sowers will initiate against the rookie, the 3rd overall pick, Ajax Zapatello, 5 and white.
And I like the move of Brandel to attack. 2 games on a back-to-back. We did not call his name a lot yesterday. Seemingly should be pretty fresh.
That gets Walker on a shorty on the far side.
Here's Ethan Walker. Looking to give it up. McCardle couldn't find it. Bernhardt, or rather Dunn.
Nice little goose.
Tim Muller takes it away from Courier. Courier got the trail check, just not in time, and now Roman Puglisi sets up the clear. Quickly up ahead, face down, shot, score! That's Kevin Winkoff.
You're a guy like Kevin Winkoff who played at Binghamton and then a season at Penn State. He gets a souvenir, and we've had almost 20 rookies score so far this season. His first goal becomes a souvenir. But this is a guy who knows. He's activated, he gets a chance to play. Like, what's his career going to look like?
You've got to come out
one day, right?
You've got to come out with a huge chip on your shoulder, ready to make seemingly any effort, hustle play you possibly can. You know, he was down at a championship series, limited, but for him, like, this is his opportunity to punch his ticket.
Tell you one thing he can do is shoot the ball right-handed. He gets to the middle of the field. This young guy can light it up.
Dana?
Kevin, you got to the middle of the field. You were just activated for week 3. How does it feel to get your first pro goal?
Feels good. It kind of happened off the it was crazy. I was going to step in for that too, but I saw him slide early, so went underneath and got that single goal.
How do you best describe being assimilated into the Whipsnakes culture?
I think it's great. I mean, these guys are awesome. Listen, I'm a Penn State guy, Binghamton guy, so playing here, a lot of Maryland guys, but I'm happy I got my teammate TJ Malone to play with.
Playing with a little chip on your shoulder?
Oh yeah, big time.
Thanks for the time.
Thank you.
A little boulder on that shoulder. And Kevin Winkoff, you can tell now the emotions of that first pro goal. 17th rookie to score this season in the PLL. Here's Ryan Conrad, matched by Jake Bernhardt. Out of the box, Caraway gets a step, shoots low. It's saved. That's Krebs. Bernhardt down the alley, nobody picks him up. Finally hit from behind. Bernhardt lost his stick. Ward picks up the ball.
But you can tell Maryland is coming out, understanding the scenario. Waterdogs' second game in 2 days. Throw the first punch.
And again with Nardella, the ability to play make it, take it. What are the odds, Quint? You talked to Bill Tierney before the game that the Waterdogs dress a face-off guy next time out.
I asked him that. I said, "You're going to sign a face-off man on Monday?"
Conrad gets Philly on the board.
He said, "We've got one." Alex Stathakis, Denver rookie, said he tore it up during training camp. I said, "Well, so Monday we're going to see him activated?" And he said, "We'll see how it goes today."
I think you can build on the face-off as much as you want. Waterdogs are 0-2. Both of their losses have been just by 1 goal each. Can they respond from an energy standpoint? Do they have enough in the tank? We're still early.
Zach Currier, when he takes those face-offs, you start exhausting some of that turbo. Now you can unleash more of his full arsenal.
And what's the upside? He wasn't winning them, so it was kind of futile.
DFL, right?
Yeah.
Another face-off win for Maryland.
The question in this game is, what can Maryland do with the 32 off these face-off wins, these extra possessions?
Well, they want to play fast. There's Chanenchuk. Spin cycle. Eli Gobrick stays with him. Behind the cage, Malone against Hudgens. Rookie on rookie. Hudgens made his pro debut yesterday, looking for a cutting Ledman shot clock violation.
I think you got to give Malone the keys to the car and basically say, you're going to dodge 30 times today. Like in these 32s, we're getting the ball back behind the cage and we're going quickly. Do you want a 2-man game or not?
I agree. The move, Zed Williams to midfield says that. Rambo's going to play his wing. I get it. The question now for Malone is, does he need a pick? Can he beat Hudgens straight up? Marcus looked really good on that last one. His footwork is sensational.
Yeah, there's got to be some familiarity there with Hudgens finishing up his career at Ohio State. Malone in the Big Ten at Penn State.
So Malone will know the answer, whether he wants a pick or not. It's not like there's the first time these guys are seeing each other.
Kelly from the outside. That looked like a 1 just inside the arc, but a Connor Kelly sighting is a good thing for the Waterdogs.
Kelly from Conrad. Connor Kelly makes these shots from range look pretty easy.
Not a huge crow hop here. You see Conrad.
It's an adjacent hesitation.
Yeah, Kelly just gets lost off ball kind of inexplicably. It's not like Conrad had this hard dodge. And unlike Carolina, the Whipsnakes defense has not really done their offense any favors. Like they got to keep it tight as the other side figures themselves out. They're giving up 15 per game so far this season. And granted, any team that plays Atlas, their defensive numbers are going to be a little bit skewed.
It's the type of game I think Connor Kelly will bring some juice to. This Maryland Whipsnakes team, there's a lot of former Terps. Connor Kelly's a former Terp. And he's a rare former Terp not playing for the Whipsnakes franchise.
Well, and
the one that got away.
The other guy's Conrad. He has no issues from a conditioning standpoint. He's already been involved in the first 2 goals.
His battery does not run out. Sowers, doorstep, and Philly with 3 straight.
I love it.
Takes the lead.
I love it. Ryan, you're going to draw this up, but this is Allen Iverson. This is the versatility of Michael Sowers, being able to attack the formation from the absolute top of the arc.
Yeah, it's just Sowers' ability to create an advantage. You freeze it right here. This is the 2 guys double team. They both go to Courier. They both are sliding. It's an easy look through and skip there for Courier to McCardle on that left pipe. Advantage gained by Sowers. He gets the hockey assist. 2 guys rotate. Easy one for Courier to find.
And a happy Father's Day to Kieran McCardle. There you see him with his young daughter. Father's Day hitting different this year. 6 goals on the season for McCardle, 5th this weekend. Scarpello not even trying, just getting back in a defensive position.
Ready to go here. Drive him up, drive him up, drive him up.
Jackson Morrill. Top side, big arc, and he scores over Charlie Hayes.
It's a different Jackson Morrill when he's attacking from behind the cage as an attackman on a short, as opposed to running out of the box as a wing. When he goes from up top, he's feeder, feeder, feeder. If he's got a short stick behind the cage, he's going to get aggressive looking for his own.
He's played the majority of his career, dating back to his times at the McDonough School in Maryland, as an attackman behind the net. At Yale, he was the quarterback. Transfers to Denver, they made him a little more versatile, maybe a little wing action. But that's the true origins of his game. This guy is what, his dad is a Hall of Famer, his grandfather's a Hall of Famer, his great-grandfather was the head coach at Johns Hopkins in the early 1930s. That guy's, he's like the prince. Mike Morrill, his dad. William Morrill, his grandfather. Kelso Morrill, his great-grandfather.
3 generations before him of Lacrosse Hall of Famers. Mike Chanenchuk down the alley, save, Ward. It's picked up by Philly.
And that's the other action I like off a face-off. When you saw Chanenchuk wisely move Winkoff out of the way since he had the pole on him, you can expect a shot pretty much every time.
Sowers got the step on Zappitello and then gets mauled right on the crease. Sowers is down. There's a flag down as well.
I think he's okay. I think you hold your breath every time Michael Sowers takes a big shot. He's got a history of upper body injuries, head injuries. And, you know, that's kind of why I like seeing him at the top of the arc. It's a less physical. When he goes,
Foul number 36, 1 minute.
when he goes goal line extended or gets to that crease, he puts himself in peril. He is not a big man.
2021, when Sowers was the number 2 pick, missed most of the season with an upper body injury.
His level is changing. Could have been worse. I thought Zed showed some restraint. He's one hand off the stick. You can't hit a guy with one hand off the stick.
Zed's a strong guy. Zed is a sturdily built lacrosse player.
And his leg bent back there. But that's where Sowers, he's got to use the space behind the cage. When he gets to that spot, then bounce behind there. You've drawn the slide, bounce behind there, have an exit strategy.
You think Zed did any tackling when he was in Buffalo Bills camp?
Power play opportunity for the Waterdogs. So Zed's capable. First penalty on the Whips this season. Caraway.
Interesting set with the righty, sticks to the outside set up top. You
try to
typically
get it to Kelly.
Walker's a lefty, Caraway's a righty. They flip them so their sticks are to the outside, away from the defensive sticks.
Yeah, you lose the angle on the shot. It's easier transfer. They're running a sideways 3-3, it's called. You take the 3-3 and you just pivot it.
Up top, Caraway, that's a 2. No good. Sowers digs it out. 9 seconds on this Waterdogs power play. Sowers looking for Walker. It rolls toward midfield. Loose ball, shot clock violation. Back to Maryland.
They had to skip to Walker multiple times out of that look. Walker just never threw it.
Malone against Hudgens. This is not a matchup for Bernhardt against Hudgens, and it's a turnover.
Well-timed check and great ball pressure there by Hudgens.
Recognizing the matchup and kind of a fish out of water when that short stick defensive midfielder is trying to play X attack.
Sowers shaked Zappatello. Ajax Zappatello matches feet as well as anybody. It's a little different when you got 22 in purple. Now Winkoff for 2. Not close.
Whipsnakes have been aggressive. They've been aggressive in transition. They've been looking, hunting some 2s here and there. They've improved. I don't know whether they can win this game, but they've improved.
Ready to go, Cardi?
We come up on the final 30 seconds of this first quarter. 3-3 game. Winkoff, who scored his first pro goal earlier, turns it over. Conrad leads the break. Over to Burns, misses the cage. We've seen a lot of that in this first quarter. Sowers to trigger, 19.4 to go on the clock.
Nice hustle play by Heacock. 10 in white.
This has got to be a welcome to the PLL moment for Ajax. Go get Michael Sowers. Sowers against the rookie. Gets the pick from Conrad. Now he's got the short stick matchup. They go back to Conrad. Bounce shot, save Krebs. And time expires in quarter number 1. A stalemate through 12. Maryland and Philly both looking for their first wins. We're tied at 3 after 1.
We drove by it during championship week.
Independence Hall, all that stuff. That was too much of a risk with some of the goons we had in my class. Had to be careful. Here comes Jackson Morrill. TJ Malone shoots low. Ward stamps it for the save.
I like the aggressiveness out of Malone there. If you've got a short stick on Morrill, I would go back to that action, and there's a natural 2-man game opportunity just sitting for them between the 2 attackmen.
Walker goes to work on Muller, picked up on the switch by Puglisi. Waits for the subs. Out of the box, Conrad, bounce shot wide.
He's got life to him, though. In the back-to-back, like, he's got the conditioning. We saw him in the championship series, Anish. He didn't leave the field.
Feels like Walker now back on attack. Brandow sitting this one out. The Waterdogs still trying to find their flow offensively in the settled sets.
Now here's Sowers.
It's a problem defensively.
And you got a short stick matchup. Does the slide come? Sowers. Ooh, he wanted that back. You saw his reaction. He had the matchup. He beat Bernhardt. Everything but the back of the net.
They didn't double him. Couldn't believe they didn't send the slide.
McCardle, spin cycle. They're attacking Jake Bernhardt. And that's a shot clock violation. Philly's missed its last 8 shots. Again, second game in as many days for Philadelphia. Waterdogs homecoming this weekend. Outlaws are the team with a bye this weekend. The entire league is off next weekend before we go to Minneapolis, where all 8 teams will play. Morrill quarterbacking the offense. Looking to thread it inside for Heacock.
That's
instead
a
of
force.
turnover.
That's just a force. You got to be smarter with the ball if you're Morrill. With a short stick, you've already scored. You know you're going to get slid to there. Bounce away, just move that along one more, or look for the skips.
Congratulations to 23 in purple, Charlie Hayes, recently named the head coach at his alma mater, Detroit Mercy. It'll be interesting because Jake Richard, back in May, named head coach at Marquette. Marquette and Detroit Mercy play pretty much every year.
It's a lot on their plate during the summer to balance training and playing and traveling for the PLL and leading a new program.
There's McCardle. Diving, does it count? It does. He went right at Matt Dunn, and Superman's in for a goal.
Finishing strong where he left off yesterday. He and Sowers pretty much dominated that fourth quarter. Here you can see McCardle gets underneath leverage on Dunn and then just goes airborne. Incredible body control there.
College, that goal might not have counted with contact to the goalie in the cylinder. Look, he hits the goalie stick in a shooting mechanism.
Nice not to have to say the word goal mouth.
Well, Stagnita's having a conversation with the official over
Did he
there.
exactly. It's a rule in any level of lacrosse.
Yeah,
you cannot make contact with the goaltender in the cylinder. I think he did. I think they should have thrown the flag. In the women's game, that's a violation as well. In fact, in the women's game, you can't follow through, Anish, into the cylinder at all. That extends up to the sky.
Winkoff, right-handed dominant. Scarpello defending Morrill. Morrill dancing around the crease. Question mark dodge. Behind the cage, Malone. Can't get topside on Hudgens. Throws it away, intended for his old Penn State teammate Winkoff.
And just bad off-ball spacing there as Malone tried to turn the corner.
Here's a 2 by Sowers. That deflects off of Krebs. Rebound to Philly. And that should have reset to 32. They resetted the shot clock to 52.
It's a nice stop by Krebs, the lanky lefty. Saw action for Kyle Bernlohr in week 1 up at Albany.
Timeout Philly.
When Bernlohr got shelled early, 6 goals against, no saves. And I thought after that first game, maybe Krebs was a little thrown off by just being thrust into the game. I think he's played okay the last 2 weeks. I really do.
Yeah, it's just a matter of when is Bernlohr coming back.
Yeah, and that shot clock should reset to 32. It had a full reset. That was a shot by Philadelphia. They got their own rebound. That's a 32-second shot clock.
Question with Bernlohr now at 31.
Well, the shot was taken. The shot was taken
above the 32, which is guy went to 52.
Which goes to 52.
And that is Kyle Bernlohr on the left, as I referenced. He's got the iPad. The key are those shades. You know, good luck seeing video on a bright sunny day from your computer without those blinders.
You got to find out what John Tillman uses, right? On bright sunny days.
Guys revolutionized the game. True.
He has. Now the iPad is it's standard. We had to retire all the Candy Crush jokes.
I could see Tillman coaching in this league someday. I could see Bill Belichick coaching in this league someday.
I could see Kip Turner coaching in this league someday. He was up in the booth earlier. He's a former pro. He knows exactly what that life looks like from a player perspective.
Bill Belichick,
fascinating case study.
Loves lacrosse, and would bring something to this that would be really cool.
His daughter, I believe, still coaches at Holy Cross, doesn't she?
That's correct. Big Lax family.
It would make it tough for Dana, though, to get Bill in game.
No, he'd be cool.
I was born and raised a New England fan. Come on now.
All he wants to do is talk lacrosse. He does not want to talk football.
But if lacrosse becomes his world,
Then he don't even want to talk football? No.
He may take our jobs. Come on now.
Quality save by Krebs on that previous possession. Already we're seeing Courier more involved. An assist there, that could have been easily been a goal.
flag down. Malone. Up top, Chanenchuk. Over to Heacock. Terrific ball movement. Chanenchuk, the quick pass, and Heacock ties the game at 4.
This might have been the best goal I've seen all season from Maryland. Just snappy ball movement.
And it goes through Malone. You're gonna dodge down the alley, get it to Malone, the skip. And then the one more by Chanenchuk all the way across the field. Now, Heacock had 2 goals all of last year for Outlaws. He's got 2 goals in 3 games.
Playing amongst friends, playing with a chip on his shoulder that he knows this may be the last go. For a guy who's been a pro for a long time. Boys Latin School of Maryland. West Sider from Catonsville. He's a Catonsville Comet rec program. And he brings real joy. Got a great attitude.
They want to pick for Malone. And that's a quick release by Zed Williams, former MVP. Cora setting the pick for Malone. Malone now gets the short stick matchup. And they had no idea about the shot clock. It expires off the quick restart. Here comes Philly. Matt Witcher. A standout at Division III York College. A couple hours from here. Shoots high. Back up to Philly.
You knew that dodge from Witcher was coming once he trapped Chorus on defense.
Sauer still looking for his first point of the day. McCardle denied. Gets it back. Behind the cage, Sowers. He's got Zappatello hung up.
Plenty of time.
Sowers against the short stick, Bernhardt. Sowers shoots low, scores. He's on the board.
Split to a twister.
Matt Rambo, part of the hometown contingent in Philadelphia this weekend. Went to LaSalle College High School, PLL MVP in 2019. Tewaaraton winner, national champion at Maryland. Had the overtime game winner in the first PLL championship, and still cooking in year 6 in the PLL.
Hey, Matt, it's RB up in the booth. We just showed you as a picture as a kid. I just want to know if you signed off on that picture before we showed it. Do you know which one when it was?
I don't. I wish I knew. I wasn't looking at the screen.
You're playing at Villanova. I also knew that you grew up coming to games, an old Philadelphia Barrage fan. Who were your favorite players in those squads?
My boy over there sitting on the sideline, Doc.
We got Doc for this game too. I know he showed up yesterday.
He's on the sideline over there. Let it go. Come on now.
Moving pick against Maryland.
Rambo's a character. 2017 Tewaaraton. Loves his golf, loves his pickleball.
Authentically himself.
He really is.
It's
Lives in, northern Florida, in Jacksonville area?
Brandow into the game for Philly. Now Courier. McCardle from the high wing. Picked up by Dunn. Bounce shot, deflected. Krebs retreats into cage. Krebs part of that Chaminade lineage of goalies. Now Brandow from X. A Tewaaraton finalist and Ivy League Player of the Year this past season at Yale.
A ton of space on the left side.
Brandow to Kelly, whiffed on the catch. It's picked up by Maryland. Dunn over to Ledman. Zed Williams. Dunn! Wow! That's from long range. Matt Dunn. Well, I'll say it's a 1.
Whipsnakes have done a much better job in this game, pushing early offense in transition. This is a variation of a trailer break. Cooking with the long pole at over 100 miles an hour.
Hey, Matt, I can't remember the last time Dunn crossed the midfield in transition. Can you?
It might be a year or two, but it's all right. We'll keep letting him go if he can shoot it like that. We got faith in big boy Dunn.
You said you wanted to run. I didn't think Dunn was a part of that plan.
I didn't either. It's probably going to be like Ajax or Squires. But we'll take it.
Under the helmet, powered by Cash App. We get to listen in to Matt Rambo. Nardella wanted Zed Williams. Ground ball, Zed slips, popped into the air. Hudgens and Williams battle along the end line. And it's Maryland ball. We come up on 4 minutes to play. First half, tied at 5. Whipsnakes have won all 12 faceoffs. Williams posting up. That's a shot. Malone's got the backup.
What's that mean, you think? Tied up at 5, really no advantage gained?
And so far, none on the faceoffs.
Maybe
Jackson
down
Morrill
the road.
denied.
Maybe down the road, Ryan, an advantage with the faceoffs?
I think eventually all these possessions do kind of take a toll. If Maryland can unlock any sort of 32 clock offense, have a set piece, have a certain action that you're looking for.
2 games in 2 days for the Waterdogs. You wonder when the witching hour will be. Generally, it's the last 10 minutes of the game that becomes like Anish running uphill.
Ethan Walker, kick save Krebs. Hey man, I did the Stairmaster yesterday between games.
Nice.
Comes back the other way, McCardle over to the crease. Sowers, save Krebs.
Yeah, you like the unselfishness by McCardle there, but I think he actually had the better look.
Timeout, Jim Stagnita.
Like Ryder Garnsey, Coach Stagnita getting a haircut as well from week 1.
I asked him about that, Quint. I said, what's with the new cut? He said he was at the beach last week and he saw an old man that kind of looked like him with a ponytail, and he was like, I can't be that guy. I got to chop the lettuce off.
Let's get a dodge from the top, all right? Let's knock it through X, and let's get a pick from a midi coming on the backside, all right? Sniper. You got it? So give me shorties on both sides, hole in the middle, hard dodge underneath, okay? Get it to X, fade if you can. Who's going to be there? Which way you want to go?
I'll go. Let's down the left and get it to Maple Sniper on the left
The
side.
sniper on this side, dodge from that side. You got it? That'll be Ryan, Colin. If you got it, who's getting the pole? All right, who's on this side? You're going to be setting the pick. All right, stand still.
Former head coach at Rutgers and Washington and Lee University, Jimmy Stagnita played collegiately at the University of Pennsylvania.
And the fact that he reminded the player, I believe it, trying to see who it was, to stand still. I mean, you know a moving pick is coming now because that last second reminder. I'm not sure if it was Ledman or Heacock or Chorus. Yeah, it's Ledman. So you're going to get a dodge on this near side. They want to get it to Rambo through X, and then their quote-unquote sniper look is just a slam pick a midfielder coming down, setting a pick at goal line extended so Rambo can turn the corner.
Rambo's out of spot here, though. He's a lefty. He's not going to stay in this corner and attack this side of the field.
No, they're going to swing it around.
Rambo against Randall.
There's the slam there.
There's the pick by Ledman. Randall stays with this matchup. Rambo using that right hand to try to get free with the left. Shoots it wide.
They wanted to get a little window dressing before, but it just went right into the action.
Now Zed Williams against Burns. Spun back to X. Cutter's in front. Heacock. Bounce shot, little on it. Ledman backs up. Shot clock at 7. Ledman against Scarpello. Lost the ball. Shot clock at 2. At 1. Shot clock violation.
Yeah,
13 turnovers for the Whips.
Good discipline there by Scarpello.
He's tough, right?
Yeah, he is tough. He's one of those, you love him if he's on your team, and you hate him if he's your opponent kind of guys.
He's playing so hard, not giving an inch.
Less than 2 minutes to go. First half tied at 5.
This game is super important for both of these teams.
Courier off the split dodge. Weaving and scoring.
It's just a different Zach Courier when he's not facing off and getting off.
He can glide. He's a dangerous ball carrier. Got creative moves. While he may be a Swiss Army knife, make no mistake, he's got an offensive game. The wing dodge, underneath, clearance, multiple fakes.
Oh, he's an offensive midfielder that can just do some other stuff.
And so as a unicorn, too often we've said, oh, he can play defense, let's play him defense more. Oh, he can face off, let's play. No, let's go back to what he does best.
That's what he does best.
That's what he does best.
The biggest emphasis coming off the Waterdogs sideline is let's not play hero ball. They got a little tight. You get the sense that each team wants that first win of the season, and Coach Tierney was pretty adamant about sharing the rock. It is a possession game, and you got to share the ball to move the defense, and they're doing just that.
And Courier is a fantastic feeder.
Yes.
And I think with Hannah out right now, you need another guy with just a high IQ up in the midfield.
Look at this ball rotation.
That was nice. That was nice, Anish.
Big Zed Williams against Liam Burns, one of the top takeaway artists in the PLL.
Maryland.
Morrill wasn't ready for the pass. It looked like he slipped. Maybe the sun got in his eye.
They don't have a designated inside guy.
Malone off the scramble.
They don't have
Ward got a piece.
They don't have a Xander Dixon. They don't have a Jay Carlson. I think they're still kind of trying to figure out how the parts are going to fit together.
Is there another reality, Quint, that their window closed?
Oh, it's closed. It's you got to open a new window and build in that direction.
15 to shoot. Witcher pops it loose against Morrill. Oh, Matt Witcher is a bear. Feet in front, and that hits the side of the net.
Yeah, we got to start looking at Matt Witcher like the Danny Logan, like, okay, you got Matt Witcher on you, you got to match up. No, you don't. No, you don't.
Final 5 seconds. McCardle puts one on Cage, saved by Krebs. The first half comes to an end. We get a flag and a whistle, though, with 0.2 of a second.
Whipsnakes foul. Number 15, 30-second technical offside. Thank you.
So that means the Waterdogs will begin the second half with a power play. The downside of it is that second half face-off, well, you're not going to win it.
Well, you got to take a shot here. You got to take a shot here with
0.2 of a second.
With a big screen, and we've seen that this can go. Now, to Krebs' advantage, he's super tall. He's going to be able to see over the screen, but throw as much interference in front of this goalie and take the outside shot right now, because possession does not carry over into the third quarter.
The possession doesn't carry over. The power play will, but with Philly essentially punting on faceoffs today. They have not won a faceoff. They'll add 2 seconds, 2.2 seconds.
Crash the goal, send it down at your teammates' feet, and you're going to jump and hopefully screen Krebs.
Now the game for Philly against the Cannons turned on a faceoff when Philly had a man advantage.
Tucci, the shorthanded goal.
2.2 seconds. Skip pass intercepted by Dunn, who flings it downfield over the head of Ward, and 1/2 is in the books. California and Denver, we get to see Brennan O'Neill again. That's in Minneapolis in a couple of weeks. It is Indigenous Heritage Weekend when the PLL takes its tour to Minneapolis.
And Anish, you alluded to this before the half, but Nardella cleanly wins the faceoff, pretty much eliminating this Waterdogs power play.
Morrill took the shot. Ward with the save.
Should
Why
you have
not?
been more patient there?
At that point, is it worth a shot clock violation or close to one just to exhaust that power play? Krebs makes the save.
Hit Krebs right between the 0.
Yeah, I didn't like the placement, obviously, but I liked the approach from Sowers.
Sowers tried to leapfrog Zappatello. TJ Malone over to Morrill. He's got Scarpello hung up. Ledman camping out near the crease. Nobody open, a lot of traffic. Morrill has to play it up top to Chanenchuk. Less than 20 to shoot. Malone defended by Gobrecht. Morrill spins it up top. Chaney for 2, bingo! 32nd two-pointer of his illustrious pro career.
Late in the shot clock, you've got to know where number 1 is out there. The Whipsnakes, you can see, are actually substituting behind the play. They think they have a free double team.
You had 2 guys come down to the wing, and Chanenchuk able to set himself up. You see Ward come high on his arc. That ball goes stick side lowish down to the knee area. And Chanenchuk, who's got probably more velocity, looks like he took something off of that to kind of place it where he wanted it. He's had a nice summer.
It's his 3rd two-pointer of the season, which matches his total from all of last year.
I was chatting with Jim Stagnita, the head coach for the Whipsnakes, and he said Mike Chanenchuk is playing the best lacrosse he's seen him play in 9 years with the Whipsnakes. So that's high praise from Stags.
At age 34, nonetheless.
With the absence of Smith and Dordovic, you know, they've needed somebody to step up in the midfield. He's answered the bell.
Now, Ryan, this is a team after the season that will have some interesting roster decisions.
I think
Brad Smith has struggled to stay healthy for a big part of his pro career. You know, Rambo has now been in the league for a while. How much does a guy like Heacock have left in the tank? And is TJ Malone a guy you can build around?
Yeah, I also just don't think we can understate the impact of the Dordovic injury. He was the rookie of the year last year, and you look at Chanenchuk, his 3 two-pointers. Like, as a midfielder with range ages, they rely on the young buck to be the party starter, the initiator. You know, if I'm a Whipsnakes fan, I'm just waiting for Dordovic to get back in the lineup, dodge, draw double, throw to Chaney so he can uncork these twos. Like, that's their recipe from up top.
I think it plays itself out, and I think if you're Jim Stagnita.
How about Courier? Walker ties it at 7.
Nice little throwback off this alley push. But I think if you're Jim Stagnita, you let this thing play out. He's going to probably dress multiple lineups during the course of the season, knowing that some of his veterans are going to have to earn the spot for next year, knowing that some of his rookies will probably need a game or 2 to get their feet wet. Watch him push the alley, circle back once he draws the double team, kind of a step down, follow. Just a brilliant pass from Courier to deal with that double team.
Yeah, it's great to see one of your offensive midfielders, your best offensive midfielders, play offensive midfield. And his vision and IQ on high display there. It's his second assist to go along with his goal, and he could have had a second easily.
Maryland perfect on faceoffs. Nardella's won them all. Waterdogs really haven't even tried to offer up any resistance. Rambo rolls back, misses. Jack Corus making his PLL debut. Rookie out of Maryland, undrafted free agent. 15 and white. Dumps it back to Rambo. Zed Williams for two. Hello.
Despite all the criticism of the Whipsnakes offense, the one thing they can do is shoot from range, and they can hang in these games despite scoring far fewer goals just by cashing in from two. I mean, Williams' beautiful placement on this shot. And I would like to see more teams, when they've got a defender hung, zip it through it for a two. They're hunting all these, like, jam it in the crease. Get a guy floating up top. Let him fling from two. You know you're fine on the backup because you're back there already.
More of a lob. You like the lob for two?
Well, I like zipping it through, but just getting it out there on the perimeter. Everybody's trying to jam it inside.
A pair of two-point goals in this third quarter. Malone, hands free, beats Ward upstairs. He got to the middle, and all of a sudden the Whips have a little life coming out of the locker room at halftime.
2 times 2 is 4, plus Malone. Next thing you know, you're on a run.
Look at you, math whiz, Quint Kessenich.
TJ, late bloomer from Haverford. This is a guy who was headed to Amherst. His senior year in May, picked up by Penn State. Dealt with injuries, had a hip labrum surgery, took an extra year at Penn State, led him to championship weekend. And now he's one of the highly acclaimed rookies. I love the balance in his game. He can dodge, he can pass, he can shoot. He's got really good wheels, and you see him. Hudgens has kind of controlled him in the first half, but that was the first time he pushed to the middle to pay dirt.
And these face-off wins are now starting to kind of take a toll, excuse me.
Ledman 40 and white, another threat from the outside.
When does that kick in? We've seen teams now.
Rambo, Ledman inside, turned away.
Great save by Ward.
Dana, is the sun a factor at all?
Certainly a factor for me down here. It's hot down here. It's 85, but this turf 10 degrees hotter. You can see sometimes the ball getting lost in that middle of the field in transition. Some of those lollipop rainbow passes are tough to see from the midfielders, but the goalies have those visors like Quint was saying, and so I spoke to both goalkeepers at halftime and no issues with the sun.
There's a save by Krebs. Courier snags the rebound. Dumps it off to McCardle. He has his defender hung, feet in front, and it's Matt Brandow.
Ledman and Muller talked this one over like there was a communication breakdown inside. 14 and 40.
Just a little push off. I think they expected a pick. And usually when you play an inside pick, you play bookcases or bookshelves, one guy on each side. Brandow just went and kind of pushed and turned around.
Play sides. She'll actually yell that out at times. Play sides, playing sides. Too easy for Brandow.
A Tewaaraton finalist and the leading scorer in Division I this past season for Yale.
By the way, real quick, it's bookends, not cases or shelves.
Bookends. Bookends.
Yeah. You said sides, and I was like, yeah.
We play sides.
That's bookends, not a.
Play sides, which means you're staying in an area and you're switching.
Oh no, you were right. I call them bookcases or shelves.
We knew what you meant.
Yeah.
Brandow's the all-time leading goal scorer in Ivy League history.
Yeah.
Wrap yourself around that. More than Ryan, more than Pinnell.
Ben Reeves.
More than
A lot of good players have come through. Kelly for 2.
Kevin Lowe, Darren Lowe. Who else is on that list?
I think you hit most of
Ben
it.
Reeves.
Ben Reeves, Dylan
Yeah,
Malloy.
Yeah.
Dylan Malloy.
How far back you want to go? Like, do you go back to like McEnany and French?
Probably didn't play enough games.
Didn't play enough games.
Or enough years.
Didn't have the COVID year. Feet in front for Kelly.
Well, nobody else on that list did either.
Brando was there for more than a minute. Still had a great career.
Yeah, it doesn't diminish anything he did. And honestly, given Tierney's history with the Ivy League, that was a big reason why he looked at drafting Brando. Given all the names that you just rattled off, it's like if this guy's the leading scorer, like it's pretty impressive.
Right out here, right out here.
Good ball pressure there.
Keep him there, keep him there.
Staying with Zed Williams. Gobrecht bothering him.
Wow.
Zed gives it up. Rambo. Here comes the hot stepper. Plays it back up top. Shot on the run by Winkoff. He loves that right hand. Off the deflection. The Waterdogs have numbers.
Hudgens didn't love that right hand.
Hayes, they got Burns.
Pegged him in the back.
He had it, instead looking for Sowers. It's tipped. Zapatello like Barishnikov. That's some feet right there. Winkoff to the crease for Malone. The Penn State connection.
The Whips just have more life end to end. You can see the fatigue setting in for these Waterdogs.
Closer parking spot.
So those photos we showed of TJ, there's a definite growth spurt. He was like 5'4", 120 pounds when he was a sophomore in high school. Didn't get the looks. Late bloomer. All of a sudden he hit that growth spurt, and Penn State picks him up.
How about this morning? Ryan Boyle got the premium parking spot right next to the stadium.
It's like the Philadelphia Barrage Hall of Fame parking.
Right. I tried to get in that same parking spot. Wouldn't even let me down the alley. You got to go park somewhere else. You got to walk down the hill. Thankfully, I saw Boyle as I was walking down.
Wait a
he
second.
stopped the car, flagged him down, and gave me a ride in.
I thought you said you locked your keys in your car.
I did lock my keys in my car.
That was after arriving?
That was after getting in the car with Boyle. I realized left the keys in the car. Didn't lock them in. I left the car unlocked with the keys in there.
Running?
No. It's a rental. You're not aware of your own keys.
Danger time now for the Waterdogs.
Courier, face dodge, steps into it. Oh, Zach Courier's been unlocked and unleashed.
Two and two on the day for Courier. Playing a lot more offense. You can see this huge windup and the face dodge. And once he got to the middle of the field and they had the full 6-on-6, Krebs didn't really have any sort of chance at this.
The beauty of the two-point arc, because a guy like Courier right there on the outside can pump the two. It's got to be respected. They rush him. Whoop, Olay, like a bullfighter. The face dodge.
I mean, I don't think he had 3 shots coming into today.
Watch Connor, check. Get up, get up, get up.
Zed Williams, shot blocked. That would have been a 2. Scarpello picks up the ground ball.
I mean, again, Courier was midfielder of the year 2 years ago.
Ryan, it does make you wonder if the Waterdogs had a top-notch face-off guy with the offensive weapons they had. Are we talking about them right now the way we're talking about the Atlas?
Yes, is the short answer. I mean, because Courier would be on that wing.
He'd be on the wings. And now you're talking about McCardle, Sowers, Connor Kelly as part of your early offense. Matt Dunn, 2 goals today.
Stagg said his offensive game has come of age this summer. 86 miles an hour.
I mean, I used to have a bad running joke about Matt Dunn's electric dog collar going off when he crossed the midfield line.
Hey, it's retired.
Gone.
He's not wearing the Q collar.
Yeah, that joke is gone. We're going to retire that one. 2 goals on the day for Dunn.
Hey, hey!
Silence. Nothing. Silence.
He's got to breathe.
Not even a good lacrosse, good lacrosse.
It wasn't good lacrosse, it was good look cross, as in cross Ferrara.
No way, really?
Yes,
Yeah,
cross
yeah. Oh.
Ferrara had the assist.
Yeah.
That's
So
funny because I
good
thought he was saying
look
good. I thought he was saying good
cross.
lacrosse, good lacrosse.
Good look cross, as in cross Ferrara. That was the Brennan O'Neill game-winning goal last weekend in Charlotte. Let's try to listen to Matt Dunn play a little defense. We know he can score.
Cut it in, cut it in, cut it in. Match up, see everything, see everything. Match up, Kenny, turn your head, see coming in.
He's the lowest defender.
Home, home, home. Home.
Rebs picks it off, springs out of the cage. Matt Dunn. This time he gives it up. Malone spin cycle. And a whistle, offsides.
Unforced error by the Whipsnakes there in transition.
Conrad, a long 2, shot blocked. And it's cashed in by the Waterdogs. That's Caraway.
What a weird sequence.
Everybody just stopped playing.
What a weird sequence.
Zap-
Zappitello gets hit by the shot.
And it looked like he was walking off. He kind of stopped playing.
Like it pegged him in the hand or the wrist or the arm.
And just everybody stopped, and Caraway was like, okay. The ricochet to Caraway. I think Krebs had a little trouble tracking that. Credit to Caraway for getting that off quickly before everyone realized what the heck was going on there.
Ajax looks okay.
Now this game's gotten a little bit of caffeine in this third quarter. We come up on a minute to play. 2-goal lead for Maryland. Shot on the run, save Ward. Former World Games MVP for Team Canada. 3-time starting goalie for Canada. Sloppy, middle of the field. Richard retrieves over to Hayes. Big difference in this quarter, a pair of 2-point goals for Maryland. One by Chanenchuk, the other by Zed Williams. Zach Courier's had a big game, 77 in purple. 2 goals, 2 assists. Fresh legs out of the box. Caraway shoots, scores somehow.
Kind of somewhat awkward motion, but yet effective.
Almost physics defying. 2 goals in less than a minute for Caraway. Nardella wins the faceoff. Nardella up ahead to Zed Williams. Final 15 seconds, quarter number 3. Maryland's lead is 1. Zed against Burns. Zed posting up. Fighting through a double team. Dislodged. Hudgens has it. Final tick. Skobrecht. Another thriller in the PLL. We go to the fourth quarter. This game's woken up a little bit. Maryland got a couple of twos, a few juice goals. Kessenich and Zed, and then Jake Caraway. Momentum taking him one way, he goes the other for a goal. Matt Dunn has scored twice today. We have a one-goal game with 12 minutes to go in regulation.
Is this ever going to emerge? Are we going to use this strategy?
So how does Bill Tierney now adjust to the pro format where you have considerably less practice time?
You got to get a lot more efficient. You got to be diligent in terms of what you expect from your guys outside of practice in terms of their preparation. Film becomes a huge component of it. And then you got to trust that that preparation, pays off, because it's a player's game out here.
Morrill's pass picked.
Friday night, their practice got delayed an hour by lightning.
Hudgens trying to dodge almost with the long pole.
And so here's Tierney, master of control, wanting to practice, stuck in a high school cafeteria with his pro team, innovating, thinking on the fly. Okay, what can we get done in here? Film, chalk talk.
Seven national championships at the Division I level, 6 at Princeton, and then 1 at Denver in 2015. Sowers missing the cage. Conrad is there for the backup. Shot clock at 9. Conrad picked up by Zappatello. They've got a matchup here with Sowers against Bernhardt. Shot clock though at 3, at 2, at 1. Time expires.
I mean, the other thing about practice at the pro level is, it's so condensed to the game, right? You don't want to tire somebody's legs out, overwork them. His practices were legendary for being harder than games. And obviously that was more towards the
early week.
Yeah.
Winkoff to Malone.
Even late in the week were pretty hard too, though.
I feel like this is about to turn into a therapy session.
We've only got 9 minutes, Anish.
We got a close game, too.
Yeah.
Got a bye week next week, Ryan. Scarpello, they got Heacock trapped on defense.
You should rent some time on ESPN Plus next weekend and tell some Tierney stories for 2 hours, and we'll just brand it as PLL Game of the Week.
We've got the interview coming. We got the full-length interview coming.
That was a 2-point attempt by Caraway.
That was a heat check right there after the previous 2 goals he buried.
Now he earned a couple of heat checks after the last goal.
Remember Caraway played for Georgetown? They beat Syracuse in that game at College Park in the playoffs, and when he just torched the Orange that day from distance.
John Desco's last game. Looking for McCardle inside. Zappatello and Sowers battle. 2-on-2. Kicked up ahead. Comes back to the Waterdogs. Still time to shoot. Now Brandow, the rookie out of Yale. And a whistle.
Asking for a reset of the shot clock here. The Waterdogs bench. I got to tell you, the Waterdogs offense, they look like they got good energy. They're moving well. They're passing sharp. Like, if they're fatigued, it's not on the offensive end. Now, maybe it's between the lines or defensively, because they've lost every face-off. They're playing 2 games in 2 days. But their offense is fresh and looks sharp.
9:27 is when the shot clock didn't resume.
It froze?
Didn't run.
Well, Quint, with Courier and Conrad, you have maybe the 2 highest motor guys in the league.
Yeah, them in an Ironman competition, that would be the heavyweight matchup. Conrad, the soccer background there in terms of endurance.
So let's see what happens here. Yep, the game clock continues to run. The shot clock gets stuck on 27.
6 seconds, 7 seconds, 8.
Yeah, it went out of bounds.
And here's the restart, and now again,
now it's
It's about 12 seconds it was stuck for.
So they started the game clock early, then they didn't start the shot clock.
The game runs.
I think it's at 12. I'm going to say 12, Maddie.
8:47 to go, fourth quarter. Maryland looking for its first win after losses to the Atlas and the Cannons to begin the season. Whips lost both those games by 4 goals. Philly, a pair of 1-goal losses. Fell in week 1 to the Archers, a comeback that just came up short thanks to the heroics of Brett Dobson late. And then yesterday lost to the Cannons in OT.
Rookie class continues to be a big storyline in the league this summer. What have we got? Almost 20 rookies have scored their first goal this year. Almost 25 have started and played in games. That's an enormous group.
And it's more than just the big 3 that were billed, right? It's more than O'Neal, Schellenberger, and Kavanaugh who've had their moments, but guys like TJ Malone, Tyler Carpenter.
No, the clock, listen to me, the clock froze for longer than what was on there.
So we get penalized because he fucking blows the whistle, and now you're going to give them the ball?
We don't have any choice.
Why don't you have a choice? We had the ball.
Yeah, but your shot clock expired.
How do you know that?
Because it's over there, it froze. It froze for long enough to do it.
I understand Bill Tierney's gripe because your players are still going off the shot clock even if the shot clock is wrong.
It's not the first time today something like that's happened.
We've had a lot of issues with clocks and shot clocks.
I mean, Redwoods in our earlier game today, and then Redwoods going back to the Carolina game from Charlotte when they didn't get a reset.
Because Ryan, as a player, you're playing with the clock that you see says, right?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, if it's frozen and you don't pay attention and you just like look up and you see it, like you don't know.
You play the situation that's being presented to you. Whether they reset it for 32 or erroneously reset it to 52.
Right. Malone using the pick from Chaney.
It's a good matchup for Malone. This is a good area for him, too. He likes this high wing.
Yeah, he's got room now against Hayes. Hudgens comes over on the slide. Rambo with Randall hung up. Rambo whiffs. Out of the air, Zed snatches, fires. 15-16 to shoot. Malone working on Richard. Skip pass, Zed Williams. Body save, Ward.
A yard or two,
yes.
A yard or two outside the arc.
Crazy high arc there by Ward.
Quint, you talked about that yesterday. Dylan Ward is comfortable playing that high arc.
He's going to encroach on those mid-level shots to come out and change the view, change the picture for the shooter. And if you don't react to that, shoot around him, maybe pump and take an extra step, you're typically going to hit him in the body. And he does that at ranges that where he doesn't think he can make the save with his stick.
And it kind of messes with the psyche of the shooter too. Like you see that, you're like, what are you doing?
Typically 6 to 10 yard range. From the inside, he'll stay at home. From that mid-range, he likes to encroach. From the outside, he'll read and react.
Philadelphia turns it over. We had an eventful third quarter. No one has scored in the fourth, almost halfway through.
Ryan, and you teach young people how to play this sport. Like, would you ever teach a young goalie to do that? Like, and that guy's the best in the world doing it. So why don't more people do it? And when do you do it? And how do you teach it?
Chorus with his first professional goal, the former Maryland Terrapin, and it's a 2-goal lead for the Whipsnakes.
We've had 2 Whipsnakes with their first career goals. Chorus and Winkoff adding to that rookie total. Whipsnakes were looking for answers on offense. They've been able to find some today. They've got the lead. Can they hold on? Can they keep it going to finally break through? Waterdogs trying to get off the schneid as well.
Let's go under the helmet, powered by Cash App.
The outside guys, they slid off at TJ's man, right? So if that guy's a little bit wider, you might be able to step in and shoot that.
Hey, let's keep.
When you're dodging and everything, a lot of that backside look to Wink was wide open. Yeah. What do you want coming back? Anything? TJ! Hey, it looks like when they're sliding so far, it's only been really adjacent slides, probably 3 out of the 4 times. So let's just recognize that. And when we get shots on cage, good things are happening. Stay positive. Let's go.
Stay positive. Oh, stay in space. Get up.
Watch your back. Yeah. Good job, Chan.
Now, Matt Rambo, former MVP in this league, 2-time scoring champion, 2019, 2020, banged up in 2021, rebounded to be an all-star in 2022. You're starting to see the transition, though, of this Whipsnakes team. It almost seems that, TJ Malone's the guy who's going to be driving this car.
Ron, I was going to say, I feel him being a mentor to TJ Malone when you listen to those huddles.
Yeah, I mean, Rambo's always been a quality leader and a savant in terms of understanding schemes, defensive adjustments.
Rambo, a lefty. Draws the double. Chuck from X. Looking for the cutting Morrill. Too much traffic. Ward has an outlet. Randall on the run out. Randall feathers one inside, and the goal is good. Michael Sowers off the feed from Ben Randall.
This is high level. Number one, Randall's into anticipation, and he gets the early breakout. He's off to the races off the save. And then the second is the trust, the spot feed, putting it with just some soft little flutter to Sowers.
Yeah, let's start with the inside action.
Boom, he's gone.
Yep.
He's gone right there. He sees it, and he's upfield.
Yeah, because Randall, his man was an attackman, he's up near the arc. His attackman runs off the field. Randall senses the transition opportunity. Feathery touch inside.
We were talking about how much Coach Shee doesn't like to lose. Well, on that score from Sowers, he just turned to me and said, at least it's not going to be 12-11. So he remembers those 2 one-goal losses earlier in the season.
Yeah, it's still another 1-goal game. And for Sowers, that's his 3rd goal of the season, but just 3 of 19 shooting. Malone can't handle it. With the shot clock ready to expire, Scarpello pushing. Over to the wing and Walker. Dumps it behind the cage to McCardle. Sowers from the wing. Picked up by Squires. Now Sowers waits for the Cavalry.
Here we are again, 5 minutes to go in a 1-goal game.
1-goal game. It's been the story of the weekend. It's what makes this league so much fun. Teams are so close together. Courier, that's just pure will. A hat trick for Courier, a 5-point game, and now getting heated.
You could see this dodge coming a mile away. In the sub game, there was a little mini situation of a 5-on-5. And anytime it's not a clean 6-on-6, that is Zach Courier time. He goes to the middle of the field, kind of bends in. And it looks like Sowers steps in to defend Courier.
Yeah, they thought Bernhardt was standing over him.
Yeah.
Not sure why. Courier gets to his strong left hand. It's almost like Bernhardt holds him down to the ground or lands on him. And then you got Mikey Sowers fighting fights for Zach Courier. Who'd have ever guessed?
Hey, this is Philadelphia. This is Philadelphia. Nardella wins the faceoff. Lost the ball on the trail check. And Bernhardt with a mini Sonny Liston standing over Ali, and Michael Sowers then decides to go Rocky.
Witcher's going here.
Witcher shoots too high. He'll sub off with Zed Williams. Sowers will initiate. 4:08 to go. Both teams looking for win number 1 on the season.
If you want me to play defense really hard, you got to give me the leeway to go to the goal once in a while, right?
Sowers against the rookie Zappatello. Sowers shoots, scores! Native son delivers.
The Waterdogs faithful loves it here in Philadelphia. He's been able to get this mid-range shot pretty consistently today. That little two-man game, Zappatello goes underneath of it. Bernhardt just not enough ball pressure there. I thought it was Bernhardt.
Zappatello gets his stick kind of close to his hands, and he shoots right through it.
Sowers has more range than you would think. I mean, he's so slippery, and you see him score around the cage so often. We saw him score from range yesterday. Lefty, he's taken a few today. He can stretch you.
First lead for Philly since it was 6-5. Nardella had some trouble with it. Recovers. And a timeout called by Jim Stagnita. That's a good timeout. You got that condensed shot clock off the face-off win.
3 straight Philly goals. You know, Sowers' ability to use his straight line speed there, even though he was running away from the goal, it's just amazing how much velocity he's able to get on that shot. And the fans reacting. Understand how big this game is for the Waterdogs. They fall to 0-3. That's a bad spot.
This is a team that's been in the championship the last 2 seasons. If you want to tack on the championship series this past February, they've been in the last 3 PLL championships that have been played.
They've been on the wrong side of the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune so far. A pair of 1-goal losses.
What kind of flag is that, Anish, with the lacrosse stick and the Waterdogs flag? Pretty cool. Look at them. You got the drummer in Carolina. We got the flag guy here in Philly.
How much does that retail on Etsy? Atlas, the lone unbeaten team, with a whopping +19 scoring differential through 4 games. Cannons at 2-1. The Archers at 2-1. The Chaos have a couple of wins. So far, through the first couple of weeks, the homecoming team, the Atlas went 2-0 at home in Albany. The Chaos 1-1 in Charlotte. They've won at least 1 game. The Waterdogs 0-1 yesterday. 1-goal lead with less than 4 minutes to go, trying to salvage a W to cap their home week here in Philadelphia. Our game clock is off. The actual game clock says 3:40. Now we got it. Shot clock inside of 15. Turnover.
Back foot, no crow hop there. Not a lot on it.
You get that out of a timeout?
Right!
Gonna go right back to that same action.
Sowers has scored 2 of the last 3 using the pick.
Razor pick from the wing.
Yeah, but with the sub, they lost the matchup.
They've got Zed.
Conrad with Zed Williams trapped on defense. Conrad shoots wide. 8 seconds on the shot clock. They took a lot of time there.
Yeah, I just thought Sowers should just run upfield and just shoot like he did the previous possession.
McCardle against Dunn. And he'll throw it away.
It's just too soon to take your foot off the gas pedal.
Especially when you don't have a face-off guy.
And they run that action and they get Zed in it, but instead of pulling that out and letting the defense reestablish itself, I wish Sowers just had carried up and shot it like
they let him off the hook. They let him off the hook, right? They had him where they wanted it.
Chorus on one hop to Chanenchuk. Maryland's hit a couple of two-pointers today, including one by Chanenchuk. One for the tie, two for the lead. Malone spins back to his right. Up top, Zed Williams, the former MVP. Gets around Gobrek, shoots, Ward the save. Outlet pass, too much for Hudgens.
Why?
Squires coming out of the box.
Why?
Malone the other way. 90 seconds to go in regulation. Maryland has one timeout. Heacock, some trouble with the pass, recovers. And a timeout by Jim Stagnita. Interesting to see Jake Bernhardt run out of the box on offense. 33 to shoot. Whipsnakes have just one goal in the last 13 minutes. We'll try to listen in to Jim Stagnita. Last time off the timeout, a poor shot that was essentially a turnover.
Come on, bring it in. No.
Okay, setting this pick. We're trying to get TJ the ball. Coming this side. Zed might have the short the pole. Yes. Okay. Okay. All right. Well, if Zed has a pole,
Big have a pole.
Okay, you'll have the ball. Then Jackson, they're going to be here. Zed's here. Peacock. Yep. Okay. And as he comes, right, we have Channy up here. Rambo. All right, he's coming across. We're setting that kind of like same motion. Yep. Pick, Channy coming across. Zed, you're flashing inside. If nothing's there, we can throw it back to Jackson. This guy will up pick. Rambo, you're going to cut off.
I'm a puck pick for you.
All right.
Let's get something here. Let's go.
So if I don't have him, roll back. Roll back and back. Let's go. Hey, finish on three. Go. 1, 2, 3.
We going right away?
You heard offensive coordinator Drew Snyder drawing up that play. First year with the Whipsnakes. Dana, what do you got down the sideline?
Just from Coach T employing his defense, just fly around, match their speed, and when you eventually get the ball, or they hope that you do, just get it to the attack. And it was interesting, he also said, you teach us when you're a young lacrosse player, but check back to the ball and square your shoulders to the person who's throwing it. I know that sounds so simple, but this game matters with just 90 seconds left. Possession.
A one-goal lead for Philly. Maryland looking for the equalizer. Malone and Hudgens. Morrill against the short stick. Heacock paints the corner. Tied at 14.
What a rip. Kind of off-balanced. Didn't look like he was really in sync with his hips, his shoulders, and where the goal was, and he kind of yanks it and pegs the corner.
Yeah, they ran this front side action for Williams, and it wasn't there. They swung it back to Morrill.
Rambo does a good job there, Ryan. He cuts through, he kind of seals down. Heacock pops left-handed. It was a weird release, wasn't it?
He lost his balance.
And now, again, not having a face-off guy, this proves to be a challenge potentially for Bill Tierney here. Nardella wins the face-off. Maryland 30 out of 30 at the face-off X. Shortened clock, so if you're the Waterdogs, you can get the ball back with a stop. But the Whips with the chance to take the lead. Chorus, the rookie, all the way, denied by Ward. Philadelphia on homecoming weekend, trying to salvage a win. Maryland looking for its first win. We get a whistle.
They got 2 timeouts. They're going to use one now.
I tell you, I love the move by Cadillac Chorus, but the finish was just too simple. It was almost like he was surprised when he made it all the way in. Watch him. He runs by Witcher and then puts it stick side high.
He was going near pipe. He thought Ward would come off of it. Or he's shot on a lefty goalie all spring in practice. And
Which he did.
Right,
Logan McNaney.
That's why, yeah. I was teeing you up there.
Love to see him just dive across and shoot to the far post.
Krebs, the goalie for the Whips, without a save in this fourth quarter. He's given up 3 goals. 36.1 seconds to go. Shot clock not a factor, so one possession for Philly. How do you play it, Ryan?
I would go back to that same action with Sowers in that deep corner. You've generated a goal. You got the switch that you wanted. Sowers just kind of pulled up on the second one. If you want to go hot hand, Courier, if you have Courier on a short stick, I'd love to see him on that left wing. Those would be the two guys that I'd be looking at from an initiation standpoint, also just from a decision-making standpoint.
First things first, you've got to clear the ball.
Yep. You know, Conrad punt return is what they're looking at here to start.
And Whipsnakes are going to dig in and try to ride here.
Jim Stagnito wants them to retreat, so make the Waterdogs retreat and have to go back.
Conrad gives it up. Now he gets it back. He'll do his best Brian Mitchell impression.
Oh.
Dangerous pass. Burns brings it in.
Time's a-wasting. Time's a-wasting.
Less than 20 seconds. Courier's got 3 goals today. Matched by Puglisi. Underhanded shovel to Sowers. Philadelphia area native. Can he be the hero? Less than 10 seconds. Sowers had a wide open Brando in front. Didn't feed him. Instead, Courier doubled, lost it. Krebs scoops it, chucks it down. We've got overtime.
You got 2 poles in the wings for the Waterdogs.
Yeah, that tells you they're playing defense here, and you got 2 short sticks for the Whipsnakes. Nardella against Richard. Are the Waterdogs about to win a faceoff? No. Chorus off the wings, and the Whips can win it right here.
I'd get Morrill involved in a 2-man game with Malone here.
Malone, another Philly area kid. Serpents around the crease, back to Jackson Morrill. Goes to town on Scarpello. Morrill spins back, draws the slide, shot, body save, Ward. Heacock shovels it back to X. And we're gonna get a loose ball foul on Maryland. It goes to Philadelphia. The Waterdogs now can win it. Both teams searching for win number 1. Sowers wants the personnel on. Zach Courier gets to the middle, threads it inside. McCardle save, Krebs, Stonewall, outlet to Bernhardt.
How about this goalie play?
That was ridiculous. Left-handed going to his off hip, off of multiple fakes.
Roman Puglisi, back to X, and Rambo. Posting up, Rambo! Hometown hero wins it for the Whipsnakes. Final score, Whipsnakes 15, Waterdogs 14. We will see you in Minneapolis 2 weeks from now.